Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Got a cool video for you today, something that I'm really excited to show you guys. So a company called One Car Stereo sent over this smart AI box. Essentially what these are is you plug it into the USB port on your car or your truck, and it changes your screen so that you can watch like Netflix and YouTube and do some other stuff that you normally wouldn't. So we're gonna hop in the truck here in a sec. We're gonna plug this in, set it up, and see if we can't figure it out. I'm really excited to use one of these. I saw one of these a few years ago and just thought that'd be the coolest thing to be able to watch Netflix and YouTube and stuff while I'm in my truck. So that's why I'm really excited to try this thing out and see if it works. So first, let's open this thing up, check it out, and then we'll plug it in and try and figure out how to get it going. All right, instructions. Kind of stuck in there. There it is. So that is smaller than I was expecting. Just a small little box there. And then it looks like it comes with two different cables. So we've got USB-C to USB-C and USB-C to USB-A. So obviously that is a USB-C plug right there. And then you just kind of plug it into whatever your car has. My truck has USB-A. So we're going to use this cord and let's plug it in and fire it up. Okay, I'm going to plug the USB-C end in right there, and then I'll just plug this in down here in my truck. Okay, so it popped up saying that it wants to do Apple CarPlay. Going to hit continue and agree. So now it looks like it's loading the smart AI box thing right there. Okay, so now it's already hooked up. So we're going to run through the settings. I'm going to figure out how to use this thing and then I'll walk you guys through it. Alright guys, I got this thing set up. This is so cool. I am so excited to have this in my truck. So I'll show you around what I figured out and kind of how to navigate this thing. It was pretty simple. So it's all done through Android. So it looks like, I personally use Apple stuff, but this kind of is powered like an Android. And so all the apps and features kind of are like that, which are still fairly easy to use. So this is kind of your home screen right here. When you go and you just plug this thing in the first time, this is what my F-150, the Ford screen looks like. And it'll automatically pull up the Apple CarPlay as if this is an Apple CarPlay device, just like you saw when we first booted this thing up. So if I hit Apple CarPlay, it's automatically taking me into the One Car Stereo Smart AI Box home screen right here. So this is kind of where you navigate everything. One thing that I ought to show you real quick is there's this little bubble that you can kind of move around right here. It just gives you some quick access to get home, back. It takes you so that you can look at different screens that you're using. So like right here, I could go from YouTube to music or whatever. So it makes that pretty easy. So if I go back here, I'm going to hit home. This brings me back to the home screen there. And so here's a few of the things that we can do. Let's start over here. So in settings, we click on settings. This is where I started. So you have Wi-Fi set up and Bluetooth. I set up both of those to connect to my phone. So all I did was I went in here to Wi-Fi. I connected to my phone's hotspot. Technically, I could connect to my home Wi-Fi because I'm in my driveway right now. But when I'm on the road, that won't make any sense. So I'm just connected to Cole Eads, my iPhone. And then I went and connected Bluetooth, and I connected the Bluetooth to my phone as well. And then the other thing I went and did is you can change the theme, so they give you different wallpapers. So obviously I don't need to walk you through all that because it's not that big of a deal, but you can change the wallpaper as well as you can put it in like dark mode and change a few different things. So let's go back home. Here we have Speed Play. So that is what's going to resemble your typical Apple CarPlay that you're used to. So when I hit Speed Play here, all it does is it launches my normal Apple CarPlay here. So there we go. It loaded pretty quick. And then this is just my standard CarPlay, music and Google Maps, and it shows it just like you would see it normally. And then in order to get back to the Smart AI box, you go to your apps just like you would normally and hit car right here. And that brings you back to that home screen. All right, so next you have an option to go to all apps. So this just shows you all the apps that you have downloaded, and you can download more in the Play Store right there. So I'm going to go back This is kind of your main app menu right here, and you can actually change these to whatever you want. So if you just hold and press on them, I actually don't use Spotify. So if I wanted to choose any of these other ones, like gallery, doesn't really matter, I can hit that one, and then it puts gallery right there instead of Spotify. So you can rearrange those however you want. So what I did is, when I was off camera, I went and signed into YouTube and Netflix. So this is really cool. I put YouTube right at the front here, so I can click on it. So because I signed in, I can go over to my account here. I can see my downloads. I can see my history, everything that you would see on the YouTube app. If I go back home here, I can literally scroll YouTube like I'm on my phone, which is pretty cool. And it will just kind of go through these, and I can choose whatever. I can watch this Mark Rober video to show you. So that's just going to pull up. And if I just turn up my volume a little bit here.
The next time you're at a public event, that's got a lot of people. And while it's just like...
So that's just watching YouTube. That is like the coolest thing ever. I'll probably use that a lot for like podcasts and stuff. Plus I just love watching YouTube, so I'll definitely use that a ton. So when you're in an app like this, sometimes that's where that little bubble, if you just tap, sometimes that little bubble will pop up. I can go back home here, and now I'm back in the home screen again. So let's show you Netflix real quick. So I hit Netflix. I also signed in on this as well, just to save you guys a little bit of time. So just like you would on your phone, hit my profile, it opens up. The only reason it's lagging, I felt like it's just as fast as my screen normally is. I don't feel like it's any slower. The only reason for the lag is that I'm doing it off of a phone hotspot. So a phone hotspot can only be so fast, but it seemed to stream things okay. And honestly, it works pretty quick. Like, it's going up and down, it's pretty responsive. So I can scroll here on Netflix, and I can click and look at stuff, and I can hit play and watch whatever I want on Netflix too, like this. Turn the volume up. Works super easy, so I'm glad this has been a really functional thing. I'm super excited to use this. So let's go back to the home screen here. So yeah, those are kind of your options there. One last quick button maybe to show you here is if you hit this car button, that brings you right back to your regular screen. So this is my screen from Ford. So I already kind of showed you that as well. Back into Apple CarPlay. All the controls are super easy. So you have tons of different apps to play around with. You can, if you don't want to use your Apple CarPlay, you can run music and phone calls and different kind of stuff from here, and some of these other apps that they have pre-downloaded. Mostly I think I'll be using the YouTube and Netflix while we're going and stuff, or while you're hanging out in the car, so that'll be pretty cool. So the other really cool thing besides this screen where it shows you YouTube and Netflix and that kind of stuff is that I now have wireless Apple CarPlay. So before, I had this little cord right here, just like everyone else, lightning connector to my phone, and that's what activates the Apple CarPlay on here. But with this box plugged in, I can hit this speed play, and it just pulls up my normal Apple CarPlay. So now when I come and I get into the car, it's just going to Bluetooth Apple CarPlay, just like some of the newer cars have now, rather than having to do the wired CarPlay, which is pretty cool. Okay, I'm so glad that this has been working so far. Sometimes you just never know with these kind of products, but I am like super pumped to try this. We're going to still take the truck out. We're going to go drive and let stuff play while we're driving and figure it all out a little more and see how things work. And I'll obviously continue to test it over time, but this is really cool, and I'll tell you why I'm really excited about this is, obviously, I got to preface this. As a driver, I can't just sit and drive and watch Netflix the whole time. I don't have a Tesla that has auto-driving features, so I got to be safe on the road. But I travel with a family. I have a wife, and I have a little boy, and so this will be really cool just to be able to put on, even if it is a Netflix show or something on YouTube, you can still drive here, and then it kind of just lets you listen in the background to a movie or whatever you're doing. The other thing is I listen to Apple Podcasts, but I also listen to a lot of my podcasts on YouTube, where they obviously have a video format as well. So that'll be kind of nice to have the video format of YouTube podcast up, where again, you can still just listen as you drive, but the video can kind of be playing on the side. And then obviously you can expect that when you're stopped, this will be a really cool thing if you're just waiting around somewhere. Or I guess if you are camping, you could come in and technically watch something on the screen here. This is a channel that revolves a lot around overland trips and camping and stuff, so I can imagine that this would be a really cool way to watch that, is to have it built right into the screen here. And I'm also really excited about the wireless AirPlay. Again, it's not that big of a deal to plug in my phone, but that's just one step. It's nice to be able to come get into the truck and have the Apple CarPlay just turn on because of this cool thing. So let's go for a drive, let's test this thing out, get a few more video shots of this thing in action, and then we'll wrap it up. So before we take off, I'm just gonna hit YouTube there. Let's see, we can watch Peter McKinnon's new video on the Insta360. It just pulls up just like that. And again, the lag's just from having it be on your phone. It just lags a little bit having it connected that way. So let's hit play there.
You might have. It's probably all over YouTube now. You've seen it, maybe NAB. But we got to talk about what happened with a particular company by the name of Insta360. I've done plenty of videos for them over the years. They make, since that day, 2 years, the people have wanted 8K. The action cameras on the planet.
This is wild. I can't believe this thing is working so well. Again, like I told you a minute ago, like I saw one of these a few years ago and just wanted one and just never pulled the trigger on one. So I appreciate One Car Stereo sending one out to me. This is really cool. Like I watch so much YouTube and I'm always on the platform, and so to be able to have it where I can play podcasts and stuff and listen while I'm driving, this is just like the coolest thing ever. So far it's working great, and man, this thing is just really cool. All right, so I'm really happy with this thing so far. Like, this is something that I've wanted for a long time. This is like really cool. Everything's easier to use than I expected. It's super simple. You just log into accounts, you hook up Wi-Fi, you hook up Bluetooth. It's really not that complicated. It's just like any other device that you're gonna own, and we all have plenty of them. So yeah, this is blowing my mind right now, how cool this is to be able to have these kind of videos just put right onto my screen. So I'm really excited about this. I'll have more of this to come. I'm like, obviously, as you can tell right now, I would totally recommend this. If this is like something that seems like an idea that you would want to have in your car or your truck, then I'm obviously recommending it to you now. I can't speak for the longevity of it because I just got it. I don't anticipate having any issues with it from what I can tell so far. But I'll continue as we go on some more adventures this summer. I'll take you along and kind of show you more that I find out about this thing and kind of give you some updates on it as well. But for now, all I can give it is great reviews, and I'm excited to have this in my truck. So I'll put the link for this thing in the description so you guys can click on it and check it out from their website if you want, and order one if this is something that you think will improve your road tripping and just overall experience with your car's screen here. So yeah, check out that link if you want to check out this smart AI box from One Car Stereo. I appreciate them sending it out to me because I've wanted one for a while, so I'm pretty excited to have this thing and use it while we're out on the trail, while we're out on the road, and all the above. So thanks so much for watching the video today, guys. We'll catch you next week.